Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing a video on another Brewmaster Monk PvP build, and this one's going to be centered and focused around survivability. So this build would be ideal for when you're guarding nodes, such as on Battle for Gilneas, Arathi Basin. You could even use this on Silver Shard Mines if you're trying to hold down a cart yourself and just you're in a 1v1. But anyhow, so you give up a lot of your offensive, your damaging abilities, because you're focusing on just staying alive, and you take all your damage mitigation alternatives for it. And to start on the monk side of the tree, we'll kind of walk through some of the spells that give you. And I'll kind of talk about how they benefit you in staying alive. And starting with detox, this is great against assassination rogues and DKs because you can remove the diseases and poisons, which hinders some of their which hinders their burst damage on you as well. They're really effective. And then you also have some of your self-healing abilities over here with Vivify and increased healing, and just an overall damage reduction here. And then as you move further down, you'll have Ring of Peace. This is a good one for maybe knocking off the melees that are on you or protecting a flag that's trying to be capped. You can put it on the flag and knock people away. You can also block areas. You can prevent enemy players from accessing a certain area. If it's a narrow enough spot, it'll block the entire area from being entered. And then you also have your Expel Harm healing abilities, and then Fortifying Brew, one of your main defensives. Rather than taking the cooldown reduction for Fort Brew, you're taking the enhancement for it, which will further increase your health and your reduce the damage taken, as well as over here you have the increases the effectiveness of your stagger, and so those all stack together. And then you partner that with the microbrew PvP talent. This will keep it on a really low cooldown, which is nice. So rather than being a 2-minute cooldown, it's only 1 minute longer. So it's not very, not very big. And this also will be this. It's not truly a 3-minute cooldown because as you do your rotation, um, it applies anything that has the name brew in it. It gets cooldown reduction from your abilities. So this is probably closer to still like a 2-minute cooldown if I had to guess. You also have dampen harm, which is the big burst damage mitigator. And then the rest are just healing talents. This allows Transcendence to heal you for a good amount. And then if you want to partner it with the Escape from Reality, because it'll allow you to do it twice within 10 seconds, just like healing for 30% of your health. And then Flow of Chi is nice. And then dealing with the right side of the tree, as you said, you give up a lot of your damage and go with more defensive abilities. And some specific ones in mind are you're going with the Fortifying Brew Determination, which we touched on earlier. You're also going with High Tolerance, which further increases the effectiveness of your stagger. And then you also have Anvil and Stave, and this is whenever you dodge, it's going to be based on your mastery. Whenever you dodge, it helps apply cooldown reduction to your brews, which is nice. And then in regards to PvP talents, a couple of these are interchangeable. Depending on what you're doing, I'm focused mainly around node style maps for this build. And the hot trub is nice because it gives you an additional source of CC once it procs. And so this will help, if you're trying to spin a flag or maybe trying to pause some damage from the people who are hitting you. This will disorient them for 4 seconds. If you wanted to change this out, a different one you could ideally take would be Dematerialize, and this could be if you have like a lot of warriors and paladins and rogues, like just a stun heavy composition, or even monks. You could take this to help stay alive a little bit longer. So these two are kind of interchangeable depending on what you enjoy and what your playstyle is. I like to take Double Barrel as well because it is a AoE stun. So you could use this defensively or offensively. If you're just trying to just pause some damage, you could just stun everybody for 3 seconds and be able to get a quick heal in or something. Or you can use it to prevent, do like an AoE prevention of someone capping the flag. Just multiple use cases. And if you wanted to switch this one out, maybe you can instead of dropping Hot Trub, you could keep Hot Trub and go with Dematerialize. Dematerialize is going to be the only other viable option, I think, just in my opinion. just because it does help with your survivability. But I really like these two for the most part, just because they provide you additional CC, and they're both AOE CC. So if you're facing multiple targets, you'll be able to stay alive longer, and you'll be able to spin the flag longer. So these two are the one that I usually go with. And then microbrew, I've always just liked using microbrew because it gives one of your big damage, one of your big defensive cooldowns a much shorter cooldown. So I've always been I've always favored using this one as well. And so this is my build I use for most node maps. And so I wanted to share that. If you have any suggestions or recommendations on it, please feel free to leave some in the comments. I hope you're able to try out this build. Let me know what you think, and I will see you on the next one.